Welcome to Your Life Story, a space to explore the journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices, and thriving after life's challenges. But this isn't just about my story. It's about life, from relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here, so if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on personal experiences and insights. If you're facing significant challenges, please seek the support of a qualified professional. Remember, your journey is unique, and you deserve the care and guidance that is right for you. Hello again. I'm so happy to have you here one more time with me on my podcast. Something that I believe is so important, to be able to have your voice and be able to, just reach out and say, hey, you're not alone. Many times I would have wished and begged that there would have been somebody out there at that time when I was going through the discard and devaluation stage, that there would have been somebody there to say, hey, whoa, I'm here for you. And I want to say, I'm here for you. How do I do it? By giving you my stories, the experiences I've gone through, and the way that I'm healing, because I want to take life to a new level. What was taken away from me for so long, and now that I'm discovering what is the beauty of it all, then I'm going to keep going forward. So today's title is going to be Why Women Shrink Their Brilliance and How to Reclaim Your Voice, Joy, and Genius. I want to say thank you, that you took the time to come listen to this. Why? Because we need to start reflecting on our lives. I want you guys to think, why do we shrink when our minds are limitless? So many times we've been silenced as women with brilliance, and it's time to reclaim it. If you ever felt too much, too smart, or too passionate and silenced yourself to be accepted, this is for you. As I was growing up, yes, I did like fashion. I did like pretty frilly things. Why not? I am a lady and I liked it. But there was something different about me. Something that I even was shunned by, even my own sex. It was that I liked zoology. I loved astronomy. I love artificial intelligence, philosophy. I love psychology. I love watching magazines with interior design, but not just the beautiful rooms and stuff like that. I like to see floor plans because I like to see the bigger picture. And that's probably because I like to analyze things a lot. And if I can see things then in the bigger picture, then I know what to do after the fact. And there's many other things that bring me joy. I like seeing cars, how they work. The same thing with yachts, airplanes, spaceships, anything that is interesting to me, I love. And I'm not saying that if you're a woman and you don't like that, you're not a woman. No. What I'm trying to tell you is even there's women who love fashion and they're silenced because they are taught that they don't even know fashion. They don't know beauty. Let, the toxic man show you how it's done. I'm not saying regular men because there's some really good men out there. Yeah, maybe it's a smaller population, but guess what? It's the same thing with women. It is all about personalities. The thing is I want you to start bringing your voice forward. It's scary. Why? Because it's almost like a cult, right? We're taught that if we speak, then something bad's going to happen to us, and that's not okay. We're taught to be beautiful, but not too brilliant. Have a family, but don't outshine. Be ambitious, but not intimidating. You're not imagining it. You were conditioned to shrink, but you can reclaim your brilliance. I want to go through some other things here before I give you some wonderful journal prompts, guided meditations, even a questionnaire, and even a homework assignment that I'm going to give you. But I think it's important to talk it out of how we're taught to stay silent. For many times I was a little girl and I remember being told, what do you know? You need to be quiet. Then I remember growing up a little bit bigger and they're like, well, what do you know? You're just a teen. You don't know anything. And then as a young lady, oh, that's even better. She doesn't know anything. It's time to use her. I really do believe that the reason we're taught to stay quiet, it is because it is in their best interest that we stay quiet. Because the fact that there's always an agenda out there. And the thing is, something that I've noticed is if you stay quiet, then it's easier to control you. And if it's easier to control you, you become easygoing. I don't know how many times you've heard that. I've heard it. Oh, you're very easygoing. That's why I like you. At first, I thought, oh, that's cool. That means I'm not a troublemaker. They like me. And I must be a really good person. Only to find out the truth. That's not what it is. It just means you're a good servant. Someone who knows how to follow directives and never questions her worth or what she wants out of life. And the moments that I started speaking out in my life, I remember individuals would come at me with such anger, and it was just to scare me so I would know my place. I'll never forget when somebody up high, when I had called up for assistance, and they just told me, what is my end game? They wouldn't help me, but they said, what is your end game? Really? I'm a smart person and I'm astute. I knew that they were trying to put me in a trap, and I quickly used my customer service skills because guess what? That's all they want to give us women, right? And redirected it so I would not be hurt. It wasn't really that I was being silenced on my part, but I was being silenced by this individual. And it made me sad because I was like, are you kidding me? Excuse me. Why would you do that? But it's because they've been taught that they're the only ones who can really have a say in this life. That is not okay. I know you've been out there. I know you've had a voice. No matter if it was in school, church, work, even in your home, or even when you're asking, calling for help, and they want to keep you silent. Now, I'm not saying let's not be safe and just go out there and blurt things, because you got to read the room. Some people are there with a trap and they're trying to see if you can react. Don't give them what they want, but do be strategic in the ways that you handle yourself in this world, because people are really good at that. I wish I could say it would be only men, but no, even women do it. So I want you to know that we are not here just to be pretty little things. Because I don't know if you've noticed, even little pretty things are abused and discarded because it serves a no use. Why? Once a person knows a little too much or knows the whole story or has just been there just too long, you're not that shiny little toy anymore that these individuals would want you to be. You know, we shrink it. Why are these little girls in schools, they stop being so intelligent? Why? Because, all they are doing, and it makes me sad. I see them, and every year there's less clothing. Now they're wearing bras as shirts. They're always showing their stomachs, their whatnot. And I'm thinking, what? I get it. There's nothing wrong with your sexuality. But I think there's a point when you start advertising yourself out there and you forget who you are. And let's say, you want to dress that way, but you're really good at what you do in science, physics, home economics, whatever you want, but you're using your voice. Hey, power to you. The problem is when they think that just by acting this way and putting tons of makeup and forgetting who they are, shrinking just so they can be found worthy in this life. I don't think so. I think women can be beautiful, strong, sexy, and smart. And the person who doesn't like it, it's just because they're scared. It's time to move forward. So we're going to move forward, as I say that, to journal prompts. I think this will be great, and I have some things here so that way you can start moving forward in your life. So it's time to start writing freely. You can either write it on a piece of paper or on your phone. If you have the Journals app, go ahead and write it in there. Wherever you feel that is most comfortable to start journaling. What subjects, hobbies, or topics once lit up your soul? I really want you to write that down. We need to start writing down what subjects, hobbies, or topics made us smile. And it doesn't matter what people think. Why? Because this is our life. And if I heard something true, that people really don't care about you, it's true because they're only caring about what's going on in their life, because some humans can only deal with what's in their minds. So I want you to move forward. Where in my life have I been told I was too much or too ambitious? Write that down. Sometimes boys, even women, teachers, whoever, will tell you you're too much, to quiet down. You're too ambitious. 3. When was the last time I felt proud of my intelligence or creativity? I know a lot of people will say they do enjoy their creativity. But when was the last time you celebrated your intelligence? That you said, I'm proud. 4. How do I silence myself to be accepted? Many times we get silenced to be accepted. I was silent for so long, even in church, because I believed if I said something, they wouldn't accept me. And you better know something, that once I was divorced and actually had my voice, I was looked down upon because I had my voice. I was no longer being bullied. I was no longer being disrespected. And you should see how they feared me and thought I was an evil woman. And I was just voicing my boundaries where they couldn't treat me with disrespect. It happened at work. Happened in the home. People I used to know. They actually enjoyed my silence. 5. What would it look like to live fully expressed in my brilliance? I was actually thinking about that this week, and I thought to myself, what would it be to live fully in my brilliance? I think I can speak for a lot of people. We people please, and we serve others because we've been taught that we should serve others. There's nothing wrong with serving, but you need to also fill your soul up so you can serve. You just can't serve what you don't have. You're running on reserves. Even your body, if it has nothing to give, it starts using its own self to serve, right? And that's not okay. It's time to take care of ourselves. Why? Because you're brilliant. It's time to say it. There's nothing wrong with looking beautiful. There's nothing wrong with learning. There's nothing wrong with having hobbies, reading, math, whatever it is, painting, instruments, taking care of others, as long as you take care of yourself first, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And I want you to move forward. I want you to do those 5 journal prompts and really think about it and see what kind of stuff you can come about and see if it will help you to see what you have been missing. Let's move on to our 5-minute guided meditation. So I want you to relax. Let's all sit down or stand up, however you feel most comfortable. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Scan your body. Release the tension. In my mind, I feel like saying, it's like I'm a candle. The wax runs down my head, my arms, hands, chest, waist. It goes down our legs, knees, ankles, and toes. And it all gets released to the ground. Now visualize yourself standing in the center of a vast library or cosmos. Every subject, every passion, glowing like stars around you. Each one represents a part of your brilliance. Now speak to yourself and say, you are not too much. You are expansive. You are needed. When you're ready, open your eyes and carry this brilliance forward. I believe taking that time for yourself will help you start focusing on the intelligence and the wonderful you just for existing, not for the things you bring into this world. No, just because you exist. All right, wiggle those fingers, those toes, move your arms, open your eyes. Start some gentle movements to wake yourself up. Now we're going to run into a 10-minute questionnaire. I think it's important. I think it'll be fun. We're going to be discovering your intellectual joy blueprint. So, there's 10 questions here. Write them down. You can pause the video and then listen to it or the podcast, and you can listen to these. 1. What subjects fascinate me the most? 2. Do I prefer learning through books, videos, conversations, or hands-on? 3. What's one skill or subject I've always wanted to explore but never gave myself permission to? 4. When do I feel most alive? Creating, analyzing, building, teaching, or imagining? 5. Who in my life affirms my brilliance and who silences it? 6. How much time do I currently give to intellectual joy? Hours per week. 7. What fear comes up when I imagine fully embracing my intelligence? 8. What small daily practice could bring my curiosity back to life? 9. What role models inspire me with their intellect and creativity? 10. If I didn't care about anyone's thought, how would I express my brilliance today? And then I'm going to give you a little homework assignment. I know this week's podcast is about doing some steps to start getting out of this. Step 1, daily spark. This should take maybe 10 minutes a day. Choose one subject that excites you: astronomy, music, coding, etc. Spend 10 minutes exploring it, reading, sketching, journaling, or practicing it. Step 2, weekly share. Once a week, share one insight with a trusted friend, online community, or journal. Speak your brilliance into existence. You can even actually share it, on your comments on the podcast. I would like to hear them. Step 3, reclaim statement. Write down, my brilliance is not too much. My curiosity is sacred. I give myself permission to expand, and read it out loud daily. Step 4, integration. Pay attention to when you silence yourself. Pause, breathe, and intentionally choose to speak or act from your brilliance. I think many of these things that I've given you will help you move forward. It is my excitement that I get to see you guys move forward. I have been doing a lot of soul searching, reading up on books, and seeing how I can move forward in my healing, especially from all the traumas that I have gone through in my life. And now with my newfound joy of learning who I am and who I am evolving into somebody beautiful and strong, I believe you can do that as well. It's time to start seeing things that were taken away from you and start seeing how you can flourish in life. I bet you will love it. And guess what? And if there's mistakes on the way, you can always learn from them and move forward. That's the thing, is we're so afraid to commit one mistake and not do things. But the thing is this whole time that we haven't been doing anything is because first we have fear, and then we're afraid to mess up, but yet by not moving, we're messing up. So what would you rather do? I would rather move forward. I'm not saying you go out there and bulldoze everybody. What I'm saying is strategically, one step at a time, you can start moving forward. And if something doesn't look right, back up, move around, and you'll get there. So I really welcome you guys to come to my podcast, go to my Instagram, go to my YouTube or Spotify. I have so much material there that you can hear, because I believe it's important that you get to move forward. I want you to know that I'm here. I see you and all your pains that you're going through, but at the same time, I want to let you grieve everything that you have and then move to the next step of growing. And it's not all linear. It's not all in a straight line. There's days that you go back down, but you can move forward. So, I want you to know you can do this. We shrink because we're taught to, but we can reclaim our voice, joy, and genius. I want to encourage you every day you choose to explore your brilliance, you rewire your story. My call to action to you is, if this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to be reminded that they are not too much. Your brilliance belongs here. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Your Life Story with Sajine. I hope it gave you something to think about, feel, or explore on your journey. Feel free to share it with anybody who might need this. And if you're looking for deeper insights, go ahead, look at all my channels there to see what can help you. I really appreciate you, and you're valuable to me just for existing. And we'll see you on my next episode.